We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Avengers Twilight Issue 1. This is a mini-series from 2024, published by Marvel Comics, written by Zdarsky with art by Daniel Acuna, letters by VC's Cory Petit, cover by Alex Ross, assistant editor Martin Biro, associate editor Annalise Bissa, edited by Tom Brevoort. So Steve Rogers is a frail old man who looks vaguely like Charlton Heston and Clint Eastwood had a baby, and he's got saggy old man body, and he's basically a broken, sad, pathetic old man. We learn that the super soldier serum has somehow been stripped from him, and he meets up with Luke Cage and Matt Murdock to kind of hang out and do some old man talking. Murdock's been trying to help innocent people who've been bullied by the state because we have this generic government bad guys who are overwhelmingly spying on people. It's illegal to have camera phones and things like that now, and all of them seem to have their superpowers either gone or destroyed in some way, and it looks like there was an event called H-Day, which is, I guess, similar to what set up Civil War, where all the heroes and villains had a big fight and it leveled Boston. And of course, on the TV, there are documentaries trying to downplay the Red Skull's treacherous nature, and they're saying that he was actually trying to defeat Hitler, when Cap knows that Schmidt was trying to defeat Hitler so he could seize power in the Nazi party. But of course, it's getting downplayed here. I don't know if that's supposed to be a commentary on the TikTok trend that happened around the time this was probably written, where young people were saying how Osama bin Laden had interesting ideas or some nonsense like that. And then we also meet James, who is Tony Stark and Jan's son, and he apparently is just kind of out of touch with people and does a lot of work for the government. And Steve's very disillusioned and bitter, and he's obviously very upset with the way things have turned out, and people are definitely blaming the older heroes for the stuff that happened. We get some flashbacks. We see, of course, Spider-Man get killed yet again, because they can't stop killing Spider-Man. They did this in Days of Future Past, Doomsday issue 1, where they had to show Spider-Man going out like a punk. Kind of the same thing here. They love killing Spider-Man. So Cap gets involved with some overly aggressive cops, attack some kids for filming some skateboarding, and he, of course, goes down in the fight, but he is rescued by some people that seem to be called the Defenders, and they want him back. And of course, we've got this lady who is going to recreate the super soldier serum. Don't worry, she's a super genius black woman with the side of her head shaved, so we know she's a hero, because we can't get any more generic than that. And she manages to recreate the serum, of course, and we're left with a cliffhanger ending. I am waiting for the big reveal where we learn that, in fact, the big bad guy is some sort of Donald Trump insert. This is very much like the storyline from Captain America that Mark Waid did right around the 700 mark, and it's not anything new. They do this totalitarian overlord state thing a lot these days. It's really lazy and generic. And unfortunately, this looks like a lot of storylines from the last 5 years kind of meshed together that all have the same dystopian nonsense, and it looks like it's gonna have your generically fascist police state, and the old hero has to come out of retirement and fight for some moderately liberal ideal, and Donald Trump will be behind it all. I mean, a Donald Trump stand-in will be behind it all, and we gotta hear their politics again. It's gonna be lazy and boring. I'm not impressed with this at $6. The backup story is actually pretty good. That's The Coming of the Accursed Avengers, written by Ralph Macchio and art by Walt Simonson, John Workman Jr. on letters, Gregory Wright on colors, Mike Grunwald editor, Tom DeFalco editor-in-chief, and this is just Loki retelling the events of Avengers issue 1, how the Avengers got together and whining about it. That was way more interesting and had really good art. The art in the main story was fine. The colors really don't make sense sometimes, and it's a little too dark, but overall I just found the main story to be kind of generic and a little boring. It's stuff we've seen several times before with seemingly nothing new added, and it's probably going to end with some weird political nonsense ham-fistedly wedged in there. We already have the generic super genius black girl with the side of her head shaved, the fascist cops, and all the heroes heroes being sidelined. It's generic dystopian storyline, and it's $6. It's not worth it. There's nothing new here. It didn't stand out. Maybe issue 2 is going to be better. I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend the money on it. It just really didn't have anything fresh here, and it took way too long to get to the point of the issue. They just sort of filled space by beating it in your head that yes, everything is horrible, but we don't actually see some things. They say that Matt's dead, but we don't see that happen. So did that really happen? And why does Luke Cage look vaguely like Killer Croc? So I'm just not really interested in this. There's nothing really new here, and unless I get it for a massive discount, I'm not that interested in reading any further issues. So this is a pass for me. It just seems really generic with more ham-fisted politics incoming and no real sense of hope or wonder. It's just pushing a political ideology. We've seen it before with Marvel, and it doesn't seem like that ever is going to go away. If I pull issue 2 out of a dollar bin, maybe I'll read that, but until then, this is just a no for me. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.